It was a dark and stormy night, the kind that sends shivers down your spine. As a taxi driver, I had seen my fair share of oddities, but little did I know that this particular ride would take me on a journey beyond the realms of the living. I picked up a mysterious passenger from an old, abandoned mansion at the outskirts of town. The moment they stepped into my cab, an unsettling feeling crept over me. Their face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat and their long coat draped over them, they exuded an air of mystery that sent chills down my spine. I tried to make conversation to ease my nerves, but they remained silent, only giving me an address scrawled on a crumpled piece of paper. I drove on, the rain pelting the windows like eerie whispers, and the wind howling like tormented souls. As we reached the destination, I noticed something peculiar. The house they directed me to was the very mansion from which I had picked them up. Confused, I turned to question my passenger, but they were gone. The cab's interior had turned icy cold, and a strange mist swirled around the back seat. Fear gripped my heart as I realized I was not alone. A ghostly figure now occupied the seat beside me. It was the spirit of a woman, her face pallid and her eyes hollow. She was the one I had unknowingly picked up that night. The spirit began recounting her tragic tale. She was a victim of a gruesome murder in the mansion years ago, and her restless spirit had haunted the grounds ever since. She spoke of the malevolent force that bound her soul to that house, unable to find peace. Her chilling words left me trembling, but I felt a sense of sympathy for her plight. Determined to help her find closure, I agreed to return to the mansion, hoping to put her spirit to rest. As we approached the mansion, an eerie green glow emanated from its decaying walls. The air turned thick with malevolence, and a sinister presence loomed over us. But I pressed on, guided by a newfound purpose to aid the lost soul beside me. Inside, the atmosphere was suffocating, and every creaking floorboard echoed with a haunting past. The ghost led me to a hidden chamber where her life had been brutally taken away. It was then that I realized the malevolent force responsible for her torment was a vengeful spirit that thrived on her suffering. Summoning all my courage, I confronted the malevolent spirit, challenging its dominion over the mansion. The air crackled with energy as the spirits clashed, and I fought to protect the helpless soul in my care. In a moment of desperation, I revealed my true intentions, to free the woman's spirit from its torment and allow her to find peace. The malevolent spirit hesitated, its grip on the mansion weakening as it felt a glimmer of empathy. In that crucial moment, the lost soul's ethereal light grew brighter, and with an otherworldly scream, the malevolent spirit dissipated into the shadows. The mansion fell silent, and the ghostly presence that had haunted it for so long finally found release. As the first rays of dawn broke through the clouds, the woman's spirit thanked me before ascending into the heavens, leaving behind a newfound sense of serenity in the old mansion. The news of the haunted taxi and its driver, who could communicate with spirits, spread like wildfire. People from all walks of life sought me out, hoping I could help them find closure with their departed loved ones or banish malevolent spirits from their lives. Though I continued to ply my trade as a taxi driver, my nights were filled with spectral encounters. Each time I picked up a passenger, I couldn't help but wonder if they were mere mortals or ethereal beings with unfinished business. One fateful night, a man with a sorrowful expression hailed my cab. He seemed lost, both physically and spiritually. As he stepped into my taxi, I sensed an overwhelming aura of grief. Without uttering a word, he handed me a crumpled piece of paper with an address written on it. Following the directions, we arrived at a graveyard, and I understood that this passenger's pain ran deeper than any I had encountered before. The man told me his wife had passed away suddenly, and he had never been able to say goodbye properly. With compassion in my heart, I suggested that he speak to her spirit, even though I knew the risk involved. He agreed, and as he poured out his heart, the air filled with an ethereal glow. Soon, a faint figure materialized beside him. It was his wife's spirit, and she reached out to comfort him. Witnessing the profound connection between the living and the dead, I realized that my purpose had shifted from just transporting passengers to helping souls find solace in times of grief and turmoil. I could balance between my responsibilities as a taxi driver and a medium between the worlds. I continued to offer rides to both the living and the dead, ensuring that every spirit I encountered found peace in their own way. And so, dear viewer, if you ever find yourself in need of a taxi ride on a dark and stormy night, keep an eye out for the driver with a compassionate heart. You might just be in for a ride beyond your wildest nightmares, where the line between the living and the dead blurs into an unforgettable tale of horror, redemption, and the profound connection between worlds.